friends, it's Kat. Welcome to today's video. Again, I hope that you are staying safe and healthy, and I hope that this video can give you a little bit of the respite of the stressful time we're in. I have been reading a ton, and this is a new author to me today, so I'm really excited about that. You know, I've talked about here on my channel before that it's my mission to support authors on the YouTube platform. So if somebody searches their name looking for a book review or something, my video will pop up, which I think is an amazing thing. So in wanting to support authors through the different platforms that I do, being reading them on Kindle, talking about them here on my channel, supporting them through my social media, through shares and other kinds of things, I decided to sit down the other day, and I'm part of a few different blogger groups, even though I know this is considered a vlog, a video blog. But I am part of a few blogger groups, so I sat down and went through those groups and signed up for promoting books that are coming out, helping to promote sales that authors might be having on their books, signing up to read the books that I had time for, and today's book is one of those books. The book we're going to talk about today is called Fast Burn by Abigail Davies. This is a new author to me. I have not read Abigail's other books, and in doing the little research that I did about her, she's written many books, so I'm excited to be introduced to her via this duet. And actually, I realized again as I was researching that Asher, which is one of the main characters from this book, his family, the Eastons, have their own series. I didn't look too much far into it. I believe that there's other books about the Easton family, and I'm so excited to check those out. So let's get into today's video. Like I said, Fast Burn is a duet, and oh my gosh, she leaves us off on a total cliffhanger in the most serious part, and I was like, oh God, I knew it was gonna happen, but here it is. And I think I don't get that other book for I think maybe 2 weeks-ish, so I'm dying. Although I try not to give spoilers, I do talk in detail about the story and characters, so please know that going in, and also that this book has some pretty serious situations. Make sure you read about that, because Abigail does not shy away from some really heavy circumstances in this book. I, for one, don't have many triggers, so the only thing I don't like is cheating in a book, and I know that, so I just stay away from it. But there is some really serious subject matter in this book. Fast Burn would be considered an age gap story, but I have to say that not once did I feel that from either one of the characters in the best way. Elodie is the female character. Asher, like I mentioned, is the male character. There's just something about both of them that, to me, their age didn't matter when they had their interactions. Life kept putting them in each other's paths for a reason, and to me, Asher is the older of the two. Asher is 32 years old, and Elodie is a senior in high school. She's just turned 18. She is legal. That being said, she's still a senior in high school. I just love the way that Abigail wrote them. And I understand we put a label on books. That's how they market the books. But to me, they are so much more than just an age gap story. Elodie is just the girl that I rooted for from the very first chapter of this book. She has this strength inside of her that I found inspiring. As a mom, I wanted to kick her mom's butt. I wanted to yell at her father who left. I wanted to take her in my arms and tell her that she's an amazing young woman, because her life sucks. Her mom is a junkie. She lives in a trailer that her mom doesn't even pay for. She pays for it. She's trying to pay for it through a job that, as an 18-year-old, is really kind of sad. She dances at a gentleman's club to be able to take care of herself. She is determined to finish high school and to get out, and she has a plan, and she saves all of her money that she can from her dancing job for her future. I got it. I got what Abigail was trying to give us with Elodie 100%. Every time Elodie was at home, it made my stomach turn. I was so nervous about every interaction she was going to have with her mom. Her mom gave me the heebie-jeebies. And it was something so sad that she said about her dad and when her dad left. And she said, but instead of taking me with him and giving me the chance he'd given himself, he left me. He left me with the woman who didn't know when to say no, the woman who would sell her soul for a beer or her next high, my mother. It's just a terrible situation that she's trying to get through. She's doing her best going to school. She's dating a guy named Knox. I had so many questions about him, and I did not have a good feeling about him from the get-go. Asher is a Marine. He's a veteran. He was in Afghanistan, I believe he said. He is the quiet, strong type. He came home and deals with PTSD. I liked how Abigail gave us little tastes of that. And it helped me understand where he was in life. He, like I said, is 32 years old. He owns his own tattoo shop, so he's an artist. I loved the relationship with his family, his brother and his sister in particular. I loved how he was a protector. You know, I have a soft spot for the protectors, so I liked Asher right away. Elodie and Asher meet for the first time actually at the club she works at. His very good friend owns it. And it's funny because life kept trying to put them in each other's path. The lines that they could draw as to people they knew in each other's lives, but yet they hadn't met yet, I thought was really interesting. Nice little web there. And so she works for Asher's really good friend at the gentleman's club, and that's the first time that he meets her. And she's dancing. He's drawn to her. But he understands, like, she does that and she wants men to be drawn in by her because that's where she makes her money. I don't mean that in a bad way, and he wasn't saying it in a bad way. He was just saying she's good at her job. Something really endearing about Elodie and her relation to dancing was really beautiful. She feels it organically. She takes regular dance classes with a good friend of hers that owns a dance studio in town, and she's trying to use that because she knows she has it to plan her future. She's hoping to get scholarships through dance competitions. She's trying to get better. She's dedicated. And so therefore the stripping thing, you know, it came easy to her. And if guys were going to give her money and it helped her future, she was going to do it. Dancing is her ticket out. There was definitely angst between them. You know, like I said, he's the protector. He wants to help people. It's in his nature. She is fiercely independent, can't count on anyone in her life, only takes care of herself. She doesn't want a handout. She is stronger than that. She can stand on her own 2 feet. She doesn't want his help, but she needs his help. Ugh. So there's this push and pull. There's this angst between them as far as that goes. Then their romantic chemistry. Ugh, I was done for. It was really good. I'd like to share with you a part that Elodie talks about her dancing and Asher and her life, and it was a part I highlighted. When I was dancing, the crowd blurred and I didn't see any of them as individuals. I took myself off to a land where I was in a room on my own and only doing this for me. But when I'd come out on stage and saw him sitting in a back booth, I knew he was different. It wasn't because he had muscles on top of muscles or the tattoos scattered all over his skin. It was the way he watched me, but then turned away as I was about to take my last piece of clothing off. He hadn't wanted to see me completely naked. There was something about that action which called to me. He called to me. That had never happened to me before. Men came here to watch women get naked, and here he was, not wanting to see me like that. He was the first man I knew who didn't want to view me like a piece of meat. He had seen me, really seen me, for the woman I was and not the body parts I had. Oh, see, right there. Right there. I crossed my fingers after that and I was like, okay, where are we going? What are we doing? There's a moment between Asher and Elodie where she has to kind of like make or break with him. She needs him and she has to trust him. But he's not pushing because that's not him. He's not going to push her into anything. And so they're at this point, and this is what she says. Silence stretched between us. We were at a stalemate, neither one of us willing to give in. And then Asher stood. My stomach dipped, and I wanted to reach out and tell him not to go. Outwardly, I was demanding I stay, but inwardly, I didn't want him to leave. Okay, he whispered, and slowly he closed my door. I stared with a pit in my stomach as his shadow slowly backed away and tears sprung into my eyes. I had been offered help. I could have slept in a nice warm bed, but instead I tried to be dignified, and now he was walking away from me just like everyone else did. Okay, I have to admit that at that point, I was like, oh, he's not the man I thought he was. He's walking away? What? No, this is it. This is it. You have to stand there. Let her realize that she can trust you. Oh my gosh. There was a really sweet moment when Elodie gets the opportunity to have a place of her own. And when she walks in that apartment for the first time, and all she's known is this dingy, horrible trailer. And she goes in and she's got a bed with clean sheets. She has a little kitchen. She has a couch and a coffee table and a candle. It was so sweet. And I'm getting a little teary about it. I, for one, thank God, have never been in that situation in my life. But as Abigail is writing it, and I'm so immersed in their story, and the innocence that Elodie still has, and the ability for her to still have that with all the way that life has tried to knock her down at her young age, and to be able to have her first space, and she's doing it on her own. It was very memorable. I loved and I teared up reading all of that. Oh my gosh, so good. I couldn't figure out where Abigail was going to kind of put the end of this book, and I didn't know if it was going to be like at an easy part and like stuff was going to go down in the next book, or if stuff was going to go down. Oh, Macy's down here snoring again. Or if stuff was going to go down in this book and then she was going to chop it. Well, of course, stuff goes down in this book. I wasn't surprised at the person that creates the havoc, but I was like, oh no, oh no. And you know, Elodie didn't have her head in the clouds. She wasn't like, she wasn't like all of a sudden carefree. This girl still had her feet planted firmly on the ground. She had started to take her stride and started to take steps forward. And it's the end of the book, and I was like, my mouth was hanging open. So I'm very anxious to get into the second book because I need to know where this is going to go. I need a happily ever after. I need this girl. I need Elodie to be able to get all the wonderful things that life has to give her. And that being said, I want that to be Asher. I do. But I fear that the end of this book, and I don't want to tell you, and I'm not going to tell you. I already gave you a warning about triggers. It's really heavy, but I'm like, give me the next book. I need good. You know, I've said that before. I can read a dark book 100%, but I need there to be light and I need there to be happy ever after at the end. So let's hope that we're going to get that with the next book. Let me know if you have read any of Abigail Davies's books. I would love to get some recommendations from you. Also, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button that's just down below the video. and like the video. It will help not only my channel, but it will help this video get noticed on YouTube. And don't forget, I just started my own readers group on Facebook. It's called Cats Romance Readers. I will put a link to my social media in the description box below. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.